A smiling face. Hi there, my name is Annie Davis, and I am a member of the Synchrony Cincinnati Westchester Toastmasters chapter. I have been a member now since 2023, and to give a little backstory, public speaking, aside from singing, has been one of my biggest passions in life. In fact, secretly, when I was younger, I wanted to be a motivational speaker or a keynote speaker when I grew up, and I'm using air quotes. Language arts and speech class were my jam in high school. I was one of the right brain kids who didn't really love math, but I loved public speaking. There seems to be polar opposites. The left brains love math, and the right brains love public speaking, and I was very proud to be in the right brain category. I love presenting for the Everybody Counts program, where I get the privilege of talking to kids in the first grade about what it's like to be blind. I just wish they had something like that at the high school level, but that's another conversation for another time. I love showing the kids my gadgets, like my talking alarm clock and my kitchen timer, and answering all their insightful questions. Like, for example, one kid asked me, "What would you do if your cane wasn't working and all your friends were on vacation?" I'll answer that question another time. But fast forwarding to about 2 years or so after I graduated from college, I had learned about Toastmasters, and as much as I love public speaking, I thought, boy, that sounds really interesting. My cousin was a Toastmaster at one time, and several of my friends were in clubs, but I just wasn't sure which club to join or when I would have the time to commit. Enter my job at Synchrony Bank. Who would have thought I'd ever be working for a credit card company? But everything happens for a reason and falls into place at just the right time. The Cincinnati Westchester Hub had just opened in 2023. When I first learned there was a Toastmasters Club, I was thrilled. In fact, the very first mingle I attended was sponsored by Toastmasters and Family Circles. I had the privilege of meeting the likes of Joyce Hayes and Susie Sweeney, and I remember educating them early on about what types of accommodations I would need at the hub, and were I to join a meeting, what would be the most helpful. They were so interested in making the club as inclusive as possible. And what I love now is that many of the folks who present do use PowerPoint presentations, which tend to be heavily visual. But since being one of the first blind people in the club, describing the pictures has become second nature, and I really hope that that continues. If people think that they have to prepare this great big long audio description, and if you work it into your presentation, it actually comes more naturally than one might think. Like I described how I was using air quotes just now for anyone who could see me or could not. This is what I do. And I've learned to model the kind of change that you want to see. Do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. Toastmasters has helped me to become a more confident leader. I'm actually on a team where I occasionally get to help plan our monthly meetings, and I even had the privilege of conducting my very first business meeting a few months ago. That was not as scary as it would have been had it not been for Toastmasters. And that is why I am still here today. Cheers!